Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect Doublespeed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. Here we have Ben on Grixis Control versus Rodney on Dreadstill, a deck that he, I believe, pretty much invented back in the day, with the synergy between Standstill and Stifle and Dreadnought. Not obvious to many. Rodney, definitely an innovator in Magic, and very often going against the grain. We've got a Force of Will on this Baleful Strix, which would have generated card advantage either way. So Rodney choosing the path that keeps his Delver around. It does not flip, but it is joined by a Mishra's Factory, potentially adding more pressure on board. He's going to be hoping for a Delver flipping. This can be 5 damage a turn, a pretty reasonable clock here against Grixis, though it does open him up to now Fatal Push, Kolgan's Command, which can be an extremely good card in this matchup, taking out potentially a Dreadnought and a Flip Delver to remove 15 points of damage from the board. That's pretty much the best thing I can imagine it doing. Now we've got a Baleful Strix coming down. And Rodney is considering how to handle this card, which is a real issue to play against. It does trade 1-for-1 and generate some card advantage either way, unless you're able to Spell Snare. Oh, and he does have a Spell Snare. There you go. Rodney's deck chock full of counter spells. It does run Standstill, and you're looking to convert those cards into just a fistful of denial, stopping whatever plans your opponent has. Not manifesting end of turn, indicating that perhaps he just has a ton of counterspells in his hand. Oh, and Kolgan's Command, absolutely brutal. Let's hope one of those counterspells is able to save him. No, he's just going to manifest a single guy in response. So Kolgan Command taking out a Delver and that Scroll of Fate. And Rodney could actually have two cards out as manifest, and opted not to do that. So let's see how this works. I might be wrong on the timing there. I feel like he did that during his attack step and could have used that scroll during his opponent's end step and on his turn. We will see what this face-down creature is at some point. Probably a land. Factory attacking for 2 alongside this manifest. Rodney essentially able to clock 6 per turn, and that's exactly what he does. Man, a Snapcaster would be brutal here. Like Snapcaster, Kolgan's Command back would actually clear the board. Let's see what Ben does with this attack for 6. Oh no, he has it. Oh, this is graphic. Is he considering days? Is that what's happening here? I mean, Kolgan's Command, easily the more powerful option. He could Fatal Push and take out one of them. Perhaps considering what on earth Rodney could have in hand. And playing super conservative here. A Force of Will pitching Spell Snare. And brutal. So now he's fighting over a Fatal Push instead of that Kolgan's Command. Leaving Rodney with a Mishra's Factory. Now Jace the Mind Sculptor coming down. So Ben playing around days there, giving up some value, but now has a Jace the Mind Sculptor, which has already recouped that. Sending at Jace with this Factory, and Lightning Bolt removing that attacker, leaving Ben with just a Jace on board versus Rodney's mana base. And that's enough for Rodney. He is ready to move on to game number 2. Taking a good look at his sideboard, considering options. Red Elemental Blast. Absolutely has its targets Baleful Strix, Snapcaster Mage, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Counter Spells, Red Blast. Totally fine here. If you can stop those Baleful Strix from resolving, definitely helps out the aggro strategy quite a bit. It's just a really good card in the right type of game. You know, when your opponent's trying to actually attack with creatures that can be destroyed by it. Things like Tarmogoyf, Delver of Secrets. That is the beauty of Legacy. There's just so much variety. I'm not sure if it's at the point where Plague Engineers should be coming in against opposing Baleful Strixes, essentially just turning it into a cantrip. Now Rodney, really just blue and red. It's a Delver strategy with those stifles, but also with the ability to make the 12/12 Dreadnought. Question is, how good is Dreadnought right now? I don't think we see as much Abrupt Decay as we have in the past. Both sides of the combo, only 1 mana, so Chalice is pretty brutal against it. But that new Scroll of Fate, I believe that's the name of it. Let me know in the comments if I've got that wrong. That card allows at 3 mana to start manifesting Dreadnoughts and then just flipping them up for 1 mana. And also just continues to add the pressure. I mean, you don't have to manifest a Dreadnought. You can be throwing literally anything out there as a 2/2. It's just making a 2/2 every single turn. And with Standstill, I mean, if this comes together, you're going to have a ton of cards and be very happy to just be manifesting. Ben now taking a look at 7. He is up a game. I'm going to go ahead and mark that. We do these in one take when possible. Thoughtseize here for Ben. That gets dazed. Rodney happy to keep the best card in his hand. And now a Baleful Strix getting spell snared. So 2 up, 2 down. Both of Ben's spells countered. But Rodney not doing anything to further his game plan so far. And now a Snapcaster Mage. That's responded to by Brainstorm. And Fetchland. So Rodney assembling the best combo in the game. Does he have a Red Blast here? Grabbing the Volcanic gives some hope that this won't be too bad. Oh no, just another Brainstorm. So he's going to look to hide perhaps the best card. Is that 2 cards? I don't know if he put 2 cards back. I assume he did. And just Force of Will and a couple of Dreadnoughts. And this looks like a PSA about why not to play this deck. Unless Stifle's on top, this is really bad. Nope, passing the turn. So Rodney with a couple of dead Dreadnoughts in hand. And now Narset. Oof, she is brutal. Narset actually playing kind of a similar role to Standstill in some ways. I mean, it's generating some real card advantage. Is that a Dismember? Yeah, he dismembers the Snapcaster Mage, paying 4 life. And now Factory's attempting to get in there. He can clear the Narset, but he elects not to. Giving a turn to get that Baleful Strix. Now a Delver of Secrets comes down. Very interesting. Rodney checking the top of the library with Delver's trigger. Now shuffling it away. It's not an instant. Wants a better card for turn. Draws a Daze. And this Baleful Strix a real thorn in his side right now. And True Name Nemesis even more so. This is spiraling out of control. And Rodney just going to call it there. Ben says still got all Ds. And he takes this one down. Dreadstill really not functioning particularly well there. We'll have to see if we can get some other matches with Rodney on camera where this deck fires on all cylinders, because that made Dreadnought look very clunky, despite... Oh, I got nothing. All right, well, that's the sign-off. Take care, guys. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.